echoes of the sun god's legends, across Africa and the Mediterranean, tell of various divine beings who descended from the sky to teach men the forgotten sciences. The desert that remembers the sun, had poured molten gold over the vast reaches of the Sahara, whose dunes rose and fell like frozen waves on a sea of fire. Nomads believed that the desert was a live-in ancient sentinel that remembered footsteps of gods. In its silence lay stories that no wind could fully erase, stories of luminous beings who once walked between mortals and daylight. Amara al-Zahir knew these legends well. She had grown up listening to her grandmother's tales beneath a desert sky so wide it swallowed thought. The old woman spoke of Zuharain, the sun messenger's radiant figures who descended in blazing columns to gift humanity the sciences of agriculture, architecture, and healing. They taught the ancestors how to read the heavens, how to command stone, how to coax life from barren earth. When Amara became an archaeologist, she chased the shards of those myths across dusty maps and fading scrolls. But now, she stood face to face with something no map had ever shown her, a doorway cut into sandstone that shouldn't be here. It was smooth, impossibly smooth, as though a giant had sliced the cliff with a blade made of light. Symbols spiraled around the frame, neither ancient Egyptian nor Berber nor any known script. They glowed faintly as the sunset bled across the horizon. Her breath shivered, because the symbols, they moved as if alive, as if aware of her presence. Her assistant, Tariq, let out a soft gasp. Amara, these markings, just look at the geometry. They're following Fibonacci ratios, and this one, it's like a star map. She nodded, though her pulse hammered so loudly she barely heard her own voice. This site predates every known civilization in North Africa. We're not looking at lost culture, we're looking at a lost epoch. A lost epoch, or something else. She dusted sand from the center glyph. It pulsed in response, glowing brighter. The doorway shuddered, and then it began to open. Too, the chamber of dawn-warm light spilled out, not harsh like the desert sun, but gentle, golden, shimmering. It felt alive. A hum rippled through the air, its vibration thrumming in her bones like a half-remembered lullaby. Tariq stepped backward. This is impossible. Taking a deep breath, Amara stepped inside. The chamber within was huge, much larger than the space that the cliff could reasonably contain. Its walls were formed from interlocking plates of an unknown material, metallic, yet soft like clay when touched, reshaping itself subtly around her hand. Every surface gleamed with shifting symbols. Constellations, she knew. Constellations she had never seen. Planets arranged in orbital diagrams. Spiral clusters. Maps of the universe. In the middle was a raised platform, circular and smooth, with a depression shallow like that of a basin. Amara walked forward. Suddenly the chamber trembled with the sound of distant thunder, though the sky outside had been cloudless. Then a voice, not sound, not speech, but something projected directly into her thoughts. Child of the returning age. Welcome. She froze. Tariq almost fainted. Amara, I think the temple is alive. Light coalesced above the central platform, swirling into form. A tall figure emerged, not quite human, not quite otherworldly. Its body was made of lines of light, like sunshine molded into a person. Eyes of white fire studied her. She was not afraid. Somehow, impossibly, she felt recognized. Who are you? She whispered. The creature bowed its head. We are the sun messengers. You once called us gods. Amara's heart lurched. But you left, not by choice, the being replied. The last age fell to shadows of its own making. Knowledge turned against its creators. The world was not ready for the sciences we taught. It paused, its light flickering like a sigh. But you are ready now, Amara al-Zahir. How do you know my name? Because your line remembers us. We shaped your ancestors. Their songs carried our memory into your blood. Tariq stared, trembling. Why reveal yourselves now? The beings stepped forward, creating warmth like sunrise on skin. Because the world approaches a turning point. What was forgotten must be restored, and what was once misused must be corrected. Images rippled across the walls of the chamber, ancient stone cities lit by towers of light, fleets of shimmering craft rising to the sky, humans working side by side with luminous beings, an age of brilliance, an age erased. Why did it end? Amara asked softly. The light in the being's eyes slowly dimmed. Because knowledge without balance becomes destruction. We withdrew to prevent the cycle from repeating. But now, she pressed. Now the cycle approaches its next convergence, and humanity stands on the edge of repeating its greatest mistake. Images flashed: rising seas, burning forests, collapsing ecosystems, wars driven by hunger for energy and technology. Amara felt her chest tighten. Why come to me? She whispered. Because you seek truth, not power. Because you carry the memory of the first covenant. And because you are one of the few who will listen. It lifted its hand. A small sphere of golden light formed over it, swirling like a miniature sun. This is the Solar Codex, the seed of the sciences we once shared. Energy, healing, geometry of creation. In the right hands, it will restore harmony. In the wrong hands. The sphere flared, then dimmed dangerously. Desolation. Amara swallowed. You want me to protect it? To protect the world from misusing it again. She reached out. The sphere floated into her palms, warm as a heartbeat, and then the chamber shook violently. The light being spun toward the entrance. They followed you. Who? Tariq cried. Dark silhouettes spilled into the chamber. Military-clad men with raised weapons. Their leader stepped forward, bald, with a stern, ambitious gleam in his eyes. Dr. Amara, he said, snobbishly smirking. You found something pretty extraordinary. General Voss, she hissed. How did you, your satellite signals, your excavations, did you really think the world's governments wouldn't notice? He raised his gun toward the being of light. And now we take control of this technology. The walls shook, spurning his presence. The Sun Messenger's voice boomed in their minds. This chamber does not welcome violence. But Voss only smiled. Then, we'll force it to obey. He fired. The bullet went through the being's chest. But harmlessly Sotha, impact merely destabilized its energy form. Light flickered wildly. Amara, it said in urgent tones. The codex must not fall into their hands. The chamber shuddered violently as panels sealed themselves, separating Amara and Tariq from the soldiers. Run, she shouted, and then the floor beneath them gave way. 3. The underworld of light, they fell a few meters, before landing on soft, glowing sand. The chamber above them sealed shut like a closing eye. A faintly shimmering tunnel stretched ahead. Tariq groaned. Amara, what do we do now? She held the codex tight, and it pulsed softly, as if it sensed her fear. We followed the tunnel, she said. I think it's guiding us. They walked for what felt like hours, though the light never dimmed. Strange structures lined the walls, such as crystal columns humming softly, swirling geometric patterns embedded in the floor, and murals depicting humans and luminous beings building great monuments together. Then they came to another chamber, smaller, circular, more intimate. At the center of it was a pedestal with a crystal tablet resting atop it. Symbols danced across the tablet's surface. Amara touched it. Immediately, the room was filled with projected images of ancient kingdoms. Nubia, Kush, Egypt, Carthage, Greece, all receiving knowledge from radiant beings. History. Tariq breathed. Real history. And we were never told, Amara whispered. And then the images went dark, showing ancient wars, misuse of energy, and civilizations collapsing. The Sun Messengers left the world, sealing their knowledge beneath the desert. And then, darkness. Why show us this? Tariq asked. Because knowledge forgotten must sometimes be painful to remember. Once more. The codex pulsed and projected another image, a map showing 3 locations across Africa and the Mediterranean. 1. The Sahara, where they were standing. 2. The Atlas Mountains of Morocco. 3. The island of Crete. 3 temples. 3 codices. If Voss reaches them first, Amara murmured, he'll control all the sun god's knowledge. Tariq's face paled. We have to get there before he does. A deep rumble echoed through the tunnel. Oh no, Tariq whispered. They're breaking through the chamber above. A panel at the far end of the chamber slid open, revealing a narrow passage rising upward. Go, Amara said. They climbed. Light grew brighter, until they burst into open desert night. Stars burned overhead like shards of crystal. But their rejoicing was short-lived, because a military transport hovered in the distance, its searchlights sweeping the dunes. They're already searching for us, he grumbled. Amara looked at the codex. We have to disappear, she said. But how? The codex answered. A warm wave of light rippled outwards, bending starlight around them, cloaking them from view. The air shimmered. Tariq's eyes widened in surprise. It can hide us. It's giving us a chance, she whispered. Then let's move. Why, Asi? Desaparecieron en el desierto 4. Convergence of the Atlas 4. Days later, deep in the Atlas Mountains, the wind howled like an ancient beast. Snow clung to the peaks like white fire. Amara and Tariq camped beneath a rock overhang, exhaustion tugging on their bones. Their clothes were torn, their food almost gone. Military helicopters had swept across Algeria and Morocco in relentless pursuit, but their steps were guided by the codex. With sunrise, its pulsations grew sharper, drawing them toward a narrow ravine. At noon, they found it a hidden valley cut between 2 black cliffs, and then at sunset, the second temple revealed itself. This one was different, built of basalt rather than sandstone, with sharp geometric forms instead of smooth curves. Its entrance glowed in deep blue light rather than gold. Tariq approached reverently. This architecture, it's like a fusion of Berber and something otherworldly. Amara touched the entrance. It opened at her command. The air inside was colder, more mechanical. The walls were lined with structures of crystalline blue, emitting harmonic tones akin to distant singing. There in the middle stood a pedestal bearing the second codex, in the form of a crystalline hexagon. Amara reached out, but a gun cocked behind her. Step away. A familiar voice said, General Voss. His soldiers fanned out behind him, weapons raised. You're persistent, Amara muttered. He smiled wryly. You led us here. Thanks for that. You don't understand what you're dealing with, she said. The sun messengers didn't leave these temples for power. They left them as warnings. And warnings, Voss replied coldly, are meant to be ignored by men willing to reshape the world. He motioned towards his lieutenant. Retrieve it. The soldier approached the pedestal, but it was only when he touched the hexagonal codex that blue lightning erupted. He screamed as energy tore through him. His body dissolved into particles of light, absorbed by the pedestal. Tariq retched. God, Amara stepped forward. These codices choose their bearers. They're not weapons. Everything is a weapon, snapped Voss. In the right hands. He himself sprang forward, toward the pedestal. Amara reacted on instinct, raising her gold cot. It flared like a miniature star. The blue codex responded, levitating, spinning, releasing waves of energy that collided with Voss and his soldiers. The temple roared with power. The soldiers were thrown back. Voss slammed into a pillar, dazed but alive. The 2 merging codices combined in mid-air in a swirling sphere of gold-blue light. The floor of the chamber split, revealing a spiral staircase down into darkness. The combined codices drifted downward, as if to lead her. Tariq seized her arm. Amara, this may be a trap. It's guidance, she said softly. The sun messengers want us to understand something. She went down. Tariq followed. Voss, furious and battered, dragged himself to his feet and stumbled after them. The memory of the first age. The stairs opened into a large underground hall, but it was not stone. Not crystal. Was a city, a sprawling city of metallic towers, glowing conduits, floating platforms. Machinery hummed, lights pulsed. The air carried a faint scent of ozone mixed with desert wind. It was like Atlantis had risen beneath mountains. What is this place? Tariq whispered. Amara's voice shook. The capital of the first age. The merged codices floated to the center of the hall, where they illuminated a huge cylindrical device. The heart of dawn. Images projected around them. People in luminous robes working with sun messengers. Children levitating small spheres of light. Healers restoring wounded bodies with beams of energy. Architects shaping stone with sound. Utopia. And then Ruan, in flashes. Explosions of energy. Walls of fire. Entire cities collapsing. Humans turning on one another to possess the heart of dawn. The sun. Messengers withdrawing into the heavens, taking with them their secrets. The first age dying. Tears pricked at Amara's eyes. We did this to ourselves, Tariq whispered, and we're about to do it again. Voss stumbled into the chamber behind them, staring in shock at the city. My God, he breathed. This power. Imagine what humanity could. No, Amara snapped. Haven't you seen enough? This technology destroyed the ancient world. We can't let it happen again. Voss raised his gun. That's not your decision. He fired. The bullet never reached her. A shaft of golden radiance intersected Etand. It simply disintegrated. The sun messenger reconstituted nearby, its light considerably dimmer now. You survived, Amara whispered. I am bound to the codices, it replied in a weak voice. As long as they live, I endure. It turned to Voss. You mistake our purpose. Knowledge belongs to humanity, not any one man, or nation, or army. Voss snarled. Then humanity needs a shepherd, someone strong enough to wield it. You are mistaken, said the messenger. Strength without wisdom breeds annihilation. Voss raised his gun again, but the floor beneath him cracked. The heart of dawn was awakening. The combined codices dropped into the device. Light erupted upwards, filling the hall with blinding brilliance. The ancient city started powering on, machines humming, towers lighting up, conduits glowing. The voice of the messenger boomed. The world approaches its convergence. The knowledge of the first age has to be returned to be rebuilt, but only if humanity chooses harmony over domination. The panels on the heart of dawn opened, exposing 3 empty slots, one for each codex. Amara grasped the merged gold-blue codex. The third remained hidden somewhere in Crete. The messenger turned to her. You must decide, Amara. Restore the heart, or destroy it forever. Voss lunged at her, screaming. Tariq tackled him. Amara shut her eyes. She saw her grandmother's face. She saw the desert's memory. She saw the first age rise and fall. And she made her choice. She put the codex in its slot. The heart of dawn blazed with light. The whole mountain shook. The messenger raised its arms. Now the way to Crete is open. There the final truth awaits. A beam of light shot upward, carving a spiral of radiance through the mountain ceiling. The portal formed. Amara stepped toward it. Behind her, Voss roared, No! That power is mine. He broke free. Charging, the messenger intercepted him. Body of light colliding with flesh in fury. You shall not pass. Amara turned to Tariq. Ready? He swallowed. Not at all. Good, she said. Neither am I. And together, they stepped into the portal. Vi. The island of Last Dawncrite smelled of salt, sun, and old myths. The portal released them at the top of the cliff, overlooking the sea, where waves glittered like scattered diamonds beneath. A sky streaked with sunrise colors. The codex pulsed, pointing inland. It guided them through olive groves and canyons of limestone until they came to the mouth of a gigantic cave carved into the side of a mountain. Slowly, Tariq exhaled. This should be the third temple. Inside, the air shimmered like heat haze. Bioluminescent vines crawled along the stone, glowing turquoise. The cave walls were painted with murals of bull-headed figures and celestial beings, Minoan style blended with something older. In the center of the cave lay a pool of still, mirror-smooth water. Amara stepped closer cautiously. The surface rippled. A figure emerged. Not a sun messenger, but a woman dressed in clothes of shimmering blue and white. Her skin luminous with the faint light. Her eyes held warmth and immeasurable age. "Who are you?" Amara whispered. "My name is Stelea," she said, "priestess of the last dawn. I am the guardian of the third codex." "You're human," Tariq said in astonishment. "I am what remains of a lineage chosen to preserve harmony between the sun messengers and humanity." Amara stepped closer. "Then you know why we're here." Stelea nodded. "I know of your struggle, and I felt the awakening of the heart of dawn." She held out her hand. A crystalline sphere floated above it, silver, shimmering with faint starlight. "The final codex," she said. Amara reached out, but the cave shook violently. A portal tore open behind them, bruised and bloodied. Voss stepped out, burning with insane determination. "You don't get to decide humanity's destiny," he roared. Thalea's peaceful eyes hardened. "You carry the shadow of the first age." He fired wildly. Amara ducked. Tariq shoved her behind a pillar. Thalea raised a hand, shielding the codex. With a barrier of shimmering force, Voss threw a grenade. The explosion tore through the barrier. Thalea screamed, collapsing. The codex rolled across the stone floor, towards Amara. Voss lunged. Amara dove. Her hand closed around the codex. A power shock coursed through her. She cried out, the images flooding her visionation knowledge, cosmic patterns, the structure of life itself. As she rose, her eyes shone silver. The voice of the sun messenger echoed within her mind. "You are the chosen conduit. Unite the three." She raised the silver cod in her other hand. The merged gold-blue codex reappeared. Light spiraled around her, forming luminous wings of energy. Voss stumbled backward, horrified. What are you?" Amara's voice was powerful and sorrowful. "I am what humanity should have been." She brought the two codices together. They merged in a bright, white light sphere. The cave exploded in radiance. VII. The dawn of the second age. As the light faded, Amara stood on the platform above the sea. Tariq knelt beside her, eyes wide with awe. Thalea lay peaceful, her spirit glowing faintly, and Voss was gone, dissolved by the brilliance he desired. Before her stood the sun messenger, strong in form, luminous, serene. It spoke in a soft whisper. "You have united the codices. The knowledge of the first age flows through you. The decision now rests solely with you." Amara looked out over the sea. "Can humanity cope with such knowledge?" she asked. "That depends on what you choose to give them. Power without wisdom destroys, but wisdom without hope dies." Tariq touched her arm. "Whatever you decide, I'm with you." Amara closed her eyes. She viewed the world as it was, fractured, burning, and aching for solutions. She saw the world as it could be, healed, united, illuminated. She breathed deeply. She then held the unified codex up to the sky. Light burst forth, rising into space, spreading across continents, touching minds and hearts, not with weapons, not with absolute power, but with compassion. In that process, Ancient knowledge had flowed into the human race not suddenly, but gently guiding them towards sustainable energy, regenerative agriculture, advanced healing, and harmony with the planet. The messenger smiled. The second age has begun. Amara lowered the codex. It dissolved into particles of light. Her job was done. Tariq looked at her. What now? She smiled softly. Now we teach humanity to become what it was always meant to be. 8th Epilogue. The world that woke years passed by, and cities reformed, powered by sunlight captured in crystalline arrays derived from the teachings of the codices. The deserts flowed green with life. Diseases that had been incurable became history. Wars shrunk as nations collaborated on nothing except knowledge. A new dawn awaited humanity. Then, Amara became the voice of the sun, respected but humble, guiding the nations toward balance. Tariq founded institutes dedicated to unraveling the sciences of the First Age. Above them, unseen yet always present, the sun messengers watched from their realm of light, guiding when necessary. Amara often returned to the Sahara, the place where it all started, where the desert still remembered ancient footsteps. One evening, while the sky was afire with sunset, the sun messenger came before her. "You have done well," it said. Amara gazed out at the golden horizon. "We've only just begun." The messenger smiled, a smile made of light. "Then let the second age shine brighter than the first." The desert wind carried the echoes of the sun gods across the dunes, reminding the world that one should not use knowledge as a weapon, but rather as a gift. After every darkest night, there is dawn.